In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace the front strut assemblies on this Nissan Rogue. These are going to be located behind the front wheels. Let's get into it. We're going to use a 21mm socket. Take the lug nuts off. Remove the wheel. We're going to take the axle nut off. First, you're going to take the cotter pin out. Just use some side cutters. Bend this cotter pin back. And just pull it out. You're going to want to replace the cotter pin. Using a 32mm socket, take this nut off. That's good. Take a punch. You just want to tap the axle in. Make sure it's loose from the hub. It'll just make it easier. There's a wire that's through the bracket right here that goes to the wheel speed sensor. Pull those grommets out. The bracket there. We'll take it out of the bracket on the vehicle. And we can disconnect the connector. Just push down on the tab. Take that off. Just move this wire out of the way. Where this brake hose goes through this bracket, you want to take this clip off. I'm just using some locking pliers. And I'm just going to use a pry bar. And then just pry this down. Pry that out. Just separate that. Now we're going to take the caliper and bracket off all together. You want to take the bracket bolts out. Use a 19mm socket. Loosen those up. Take those out. Now slide the bracket off with the caliper and take a brake caliper hanger. And you want to just hang this out of the way. I'm going to pull the rotor off. I'm going to take the nut off of the tie rod end. Use a 15mm socket. Pop that off. And there's different front end tools you can use to separate this from the knuckle. We're just going to take a hammer and just give it a tap. Move that out of the way. Use a 18mm socket on the nut, and we'll use an 18mm socket on the bolt. And pull the bolt out. Now I'm going to pry this down. You might need a pry bar in between to spread the knuckle apart a little bit, and just use a hammer. Just pry this down. Down, out of the way. Then we're just going to grab the knuckle and pull the axle out. That's to the side. And use an 18mm wrench. On the back side, you want to take that nut off and an 18mm socket. Take that nut off. The bolt out. And to spread this on the back, I'm just going to use this type of spreading tool. As I tighten this up, it's just going to widen the gap. It's going to make it easier to remove. And that slips right off. There you go, set that aside. We're gonna remove the wiper arms. Before we take them off, you wanna just take a crayon and just mark where they are so you can put them back in the right location when you go back together. Using a 14mm socket, take this nut off. You just grab the wiper arm, push it down, rock it up, just go back and forth. Eventually it loosens up, you can pull it off. Do the same on the other one. Now you want to take these clips off, just use a straight blade screwdriver, just get underneath the clip, pull those off. And pull those off. There's a cover that's separate from the cowl right there. You just want to take a straight blade screwdriver, push on the retainer, just pop that out. You want to do that on both sides. Now grab the cowl. I'm going to lift it up. Just pop it off from the base of the windshield. It's just going to come up like a zipper. You can pull that up and out of the way. I'm going to take these bolts out. I'm going to start with this back one because it's underneath this lip right here. Using a 13mm socket, you can get underneath here. Loosen this up. Pull that bolt out. I'm going to take these other bolts out, use a 13mm socket. And when you go to take the last one out, you just want to support the strut underneath. Grab the strut, and it comes right out. Now take the new strut assembly, get that lined up. Have one of the bolts in your hand, get that started, and grab the other ones. There we go, get those started, and one more. Snug these down. Just try to get this lined up as close as it was. You can see where the paint mark is for the old ones. I'll just snug these down. Now we're going to torque these bolts to 14 foot-pounds. All right, those are good. And take the cowl and get this lined up. And push it down. And put the clips on. Lock those in place. And take the passenger side wiper. Get that installed. Make sure you line it up with your marks. And same with the driver's side. Line it up. Put the nuts on. And tighten that down. I'm going to torque these to 17 foot-pounds. And take the covers, pop them on. Slide the knuckle on. I still have the spacer on in the back, just to help guide this on. Might have to use a hammer it up a little bit. Just use a rubber mallet, just hammer it up. All right, it's all the way down. Now I can take the tool off. Now I take the bolts, get the bolt through, get the nut started, and we'll torque this once everything's back together so it's not moving all around. Pull this out, get the axle lined up. Move the lower ball joint, get that set up. And get this bolt in. If you need to, just give it a little tap with the rubber mallet. Get the nut on. And we'll torque that after we put the tie rod end in. Take the outer tie rod in, get that lined up, get the nut started. And just with a pry bar, I'm just going to pry up, snug this down, torque that nut to 25 foot-pounds. That's good. Now we're going to tighten this down. And we'll torque this to 66 foot-pounds. Good. Now I take the rotor, get that lined up. Just to make it easier, I'm just going to take a lug nut, just put it on just to hold the rotor on a little better. That's good right there. Now take the caliper and go over the rotor. Get the bolts started. Now we're going to torque these bolts to 122 foot-pounds. Take the brake hose, slide that through the bracket, then take the clip, get that lined up, and just give it a tap. Just use a hammer. Tap it in place, and take the wheel speed sensor wire, put the grommets through the bracket, right there, right there, and the bracket on the body, and connect the connector. Lock it down, and put this bolt in. Snug that down. Snug that down. Then we'll torque that. Now we're going to torque this bolt to 66 foot-pounds. Now you can take the lug nut off and put the axle nut on. Snug that down. I'm going to take a pry bar in between the studs just to prevent the hub from spinning when we're tightening it down. And you want to torque this to 188 foot-pounds. That's good. Take the castle nut crown, put that over the nut, and we're going to take the cotter pin, slide that through, using some side cutters, bend it over, tap that down a little bit. You can trim the excess or bend it the other way. Just bend that out of the way. That's good. Now put the wheel on. Get the lug nut started. Snug those down. Now we're going to torque the lug nuts to 83 foot-pounds in a cross pattern to tighten the wheel down evenly. Go around again, double check. After finishing this installation, it's important to have an alignment done on your vehicle.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.